Next, we're going to find the x and y intercepts. So if you're given x minus y equals 8, and an intercept is nothing but where the x and the y, where the line crosses the x and the y axis, okay? So I want to know what point will this line cross on the x-axis and what point will this line cross on the y-axis. So if you're looking for the x-intercept first, then you're going to simply let y be 0. You can't solve an equation with two variables in it, so I got to let one of them be a number. So I'm going to let the y be 0. When you do that, you're making the y disappear. So you can only have x. And you would see that if I let my y be 0, then you only have x equals 8. So my x-intercept is going to be 8. It's going to cross at 8 on the x-axis. Now, you need to write that as an ordered pair. You don't want to write x equals 8 because that looks like a line. So we're going to write it with x and y coordinates. Now, your x coordinate is obviously the 8. Your y coordinate is going to be 0 because that's what you let y be. So you would write your x-intercept as an ordered pair, and it would be 8, 0. You would do the exact same thing to find the y-intercept. To find that y-intercept, you do just the opposite. You let x equal 0 because you want to know who y is. So I need to let the x disappear. So when I let my x be 0, it's not there anymore. You have negative y equals 8. So to get that negative understood 1 off of y, you divide by negative 1. So y equals a negative 8. So again, you want to write it as an ordered pair. So the ordered pair would be your x number, you let it be 0, and the y number is going to be negative 8. So my intercepts would be 0. For my y, it would be 0, negative 8. And for my x, it would be 8, 0. Second one, x minus y equals 10. So again, if I'm looking for my intercepts, I'm looking for the x-intercept, and then we'll look for the y-intercept. If I'm looking for x, you let the other variable, which is y, be 0. So if I let y be 0, it's gone. You have x equals 10. So write it as an ordered pair. My x is going to be the 10, and my y is going to be 0. That's your x-intercept. To find the y-intercept, you're going to let x equal 0. So you let your x be 0, therefore it's gone. And you got negative y equals 10. But again, you got to get that negative off of that variable. So you're going to divide by negative 1. So your y is a negative 10. So my ordered pair, the x coordinate is going to be 0, and my y is negative 10. So my y-intercept is 0, negative 10. Third example, 2x minus 3y equals 24. 2x minus 3y equals 24. Find that x-intercept and the y-intercept. To find x, we're going to let y be 0. So if I let my y be 0, again, it's gone. And I have 2x equals 24. So if I divide by 2, x equals 12. So write it as an ordered pair. That would be 12, comma 0. My x coordinate is 12. The y coordinate is 0. Y-intercept, you're going to let the x be 0. I let x be 0. So it's gone. And I have negative 3y equals 24. Divide both sides by negative 3. Y equals negative 8. So as an ordered pair, your x coordinate is 0 and the y is negative 8. And keep in mind, these are points that this particular line is going to cross the x-axis at and the y-axis at. Negative 3x plus 8y equals 48. We're looking for that x-intercept and that y-intercept. So x-intercept, you're going to let the y be 0. Let that y be 0 and it's gone. So you're just left with negative 3x equals 48. Divide both sides by negative 3. And your x equals negative 16. So as an ordered pair, that would be negative 16, comma 0. Y-intercept, we're going to allow x to be 0. X is 0, it's gone. So you have 8y equals 48. So you divide by 8. Y equals 6. So your ordered pair would be 0, comma 6. Next, if we have x plus 2 equals 8. X plus 2 equals 8. Now, I hope that you've noticed there's no y. Okay, now this is considered a special line. There is no y. So when I look for my x-intercept, I can't let y be 0 because y ain't even up there. I'm just going to solve for x. So that means I'm going to subtract 2 from 8, and I get 6. So this thing is going to cross the x-axis at 6. So this would be 6, comma 0 as my ordered pair. Now, for your y-intercept, and I keep saying there's no y. Okay, this is a special line. Y is nowhere in that equation. So would it cross the y-axis? And the answer would be no. It doesn't have a y. So it doesn't have a y-intercept. So you would simply tell me none. Don't say 0 because 0 is an origin. It's a point on the graph. So you would say none. It doesn't have a y-intercept. Obviously, because it doesn't even have a y. So kind of let that be a reminder. If there's no y, there's no y-intercept. This line will only cross the x-axis, and it's going to cross it at 6. Negative 3y equals 15. And if you notice here, there's no x, okay? This one doesn't have an x. So if I'm looking for the x-intercept, there's no x up there. So I would have to say none. This is a special line. It's not going to cross the x-axis because there's only a y. That's it. Just like on the previous problem, there was only an x. This one only has y. So to find that y-intercept, all you're going to do is solve for y, which means you're going to divide by -3. So it's going to cross y at -5. So that actual point would be 0, -5. And like I said, this one is special as well because there is no x. It does not cross the x-axis. So that's why we say none. But there is a y. Y only is going to cross at -5. This will conclude 3.2 section